You know, I didn't get to play every single game that came out this year. That's a feat that I highly doubt anyone would be able to achieve. I don't. If you can do it, I'm very surprised. But I don't have an infinite amount of money, unfortunately. If I did, I'd played more games. I did play, however, the majority of the releases. I played the big ones that came out this year, and I know a lot of people are speculating on what my best game of the year is, my and worst game of the year is. And it is, I'm going to give you my reason for this. Now, when I say worst game of the year, I'm not talking about game schematics or gameplay, graphics. I'm talking about the game that I just personally think did not live up to the hype that it was. In a way, it's more of my most disappointing game of the year rather than my worst game of the year, because really there are tons of worse games out there than the game that I've used as categories. Now, I've had some people say, oh, it's got to be, it has to be Arkham Origins. Arkham Origins was just massive disappointment. I don't think so. And I know a lot of people can say that all they want, but I think Arkham Origins is actually a really good game, and it is a contender for my game of the year. But however, I'm going to say this right now, I'm going to give you a little story. One of the first Let's Plays I ever done on this channel was of Heavy Rain. And that was one of my personal favorites. Now, unfortunately, due to technical problems, I was unable to complete that playthrough, which I still regret to this date. So I'm a big fan of Quantic Dreams. I really think Heavy Rain was an example of how to do storytelling and give an example of how games can tell a mature story and aspect without having to dive into over-the-top action and all that, but tell a really interesting and engrossing story. So when they announced Beyond Two Souls, I was hyped as hell. I really thought that this game could be as good as Heavy Rain, and that was my bad. Now, for those who don't know, Beyond Two Souls is Quantic Dream's most recent game featuring the superbly and immensely talented actress Ellen Page and fantastic actor Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe you will know most likely from various roles, but I most likely know him as Green Goblin or Norman Osborn from the Spider-Man series, the Sam Raimi versions, and Ellen Page, who you may recognise from a couple of X-Men as Kitty Pryde, and also my personal favourite role, the psycho crazy bitch in Hard Candy, which is an awesome thriller, by the way, and I highly recommend it. But when they were announced that they were going to be in this game, I'm taking the sleeve off because it's shiny. When they were announced that they were going to be, a lot of people were skeptical, and a lot of people were like, oh, that can't work. But me, I was like, I have no problem with big name actors and actresses getting into gaming. I think it gives gaming a little bit of the gaming industry a little bit of more credit that big name actors and actresses like Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe are willing to go into roles that, in all sense, are completely virtual. And they did use their likeness and all that, but as I say, it was mostly a spoken. They had to use their voice more than their actions in a way. And looking at all the trailers that were coming out for this game were absolutely getting me hyped for it. Quantic Dreams were hyping the hell out of this game. And when I eventually got around to playing it and doing a full Let's Play of it, which is on my channel if you want to go and check it, I had mixed opinions. And I'm going to be honest, I probably would not have finished playing Beyond Two Souls if I was not doing a Let's Play of it, because I just did not think it lived up to the hype. Now, I will say right now, from this point on, I am going to have to go into heavy spoilers about Beyond Two Souls, because it just has to be. The main reason I just don't think this game lived up to the hype is for the main fact of spoilers, including the ending. So I will say right now, you may want to skip this if you haven't completed it yet, which I don't blame you if you haven't. I'm not going to be making jokes, I may make a few wee snide comments here or there, but I'm going to be dead serious here. The story started off strong in my opinion, and I really was interested in the aspect of this otherworldly being that was protecting this girl, Jodie. I was really interested in the fact that she was broken, that stuff must have happened to her that really did impact her in a lot of ways, and Ellen Page performs that exceptionally well. And throughout the game in certain aspects, including my personal favourite segment of the game, which is the homeless segment, in which she's homeless on the street, and these people take her in out of the kindness of their own heart. People in the same situation as her, they have not got a penny to their name, and they're just struggling to stay by, but they took her into their home and offered her something that she didn't have, which is real family, in my opinion. I love that segment. I fucking hated the supernatural aspect of this game, and it's a major part of this game. The game just, the story especially just did not feel right. It felt rushed. It did not feel complete. I'm not lying when I can say this right here, right now, that I could not. I was like, you could take out half of this game's story and segments, and it would have made it a better story, in my opinion. It felt like the writer and producers of this game, David Cage especially, because I've heard rumours that he's a bit of a dick. He basically, that they had a vision for what they wanted, but they wanted to make like 3 different types of game. They wanted to make an intense drama about a girl growing up with this strange ghost following her about with a bit of a supernatural aspect. Then they wanted to make a supernatural end of the world kind of story, and at the same time also wanted to add a bit of a military aspect into it as well. It just felt like 3 different stories in an aspect, and I just did not like it, especially towards the military segments of the game, where Jodie goes into a foreign country to assassinate basically the president of that country because she believes, she has been told that he's a warlord basically, and she does it and she's broken after which she finds out, because it turns out she ends up killing a boy who she befriends' father doing that. And she is broken that when she finds out that warlord was actually the elected president, and he was actually he was actually making the place a nice place actually, and it breaks her on that. And Ellen Page performs that perfectly. However, the entire segment ran on for way too fucking long, and in my opinion, just didn't really belong in this game. You could have cut out half of that segment, and it would have made the story just a little bit better. But then we go towards even further towards the ending, where especially in the last half an hour to an hour, the game felt rushed with the character of Nathan going absolutely batshit fucking insane and trying to destroy the world. He deactivates the device that is keeping them safe from the entities that are inside this world, which, by the way, aren't fucking nice and actually do kill people in very gruesome ways. I will say that right now. And he wants that because he wants to be with his dead wife and daughter, who he actually held prisoner, their souls, tearing them away from the afterlife inside some kind of containment field, causing them physical pain. And I'm talking spiritual pain, like full-on pain. You could see it in their eyes. And he did that. And from that point on, he went fucking nuts. And then at the end of there, I managed to convince him to kill himself. And he kills himself and says, "I'm sorry. Now it's only you that can save this world. Go, Jodie. Save the world. I'm just going to go with my family and be okay. See you later. Bye." It felt rushed beyond belief. Now, don't get me wrong, Willem Dafoe performs it excellently, and if not for his performance, the role would have been fucking horrible. But that aspect of the rushness of the ending just felt like shit. And in all honesty, there are, I think, about 4 or 5 endings, if memory serves me. There is one beyond ending, which is the ending I chose in my playthrough, which Jodie basically dies, and she goes to this weird plane, and it's kind of weird. And then there's the life ending, in which you get, I think, 3 or 4 different options in there. And in my perspective, the Zoe ending, in which she goes back to the homeless people, which one of them was pregnant at the time, actually, and meets the child that she helped bring into this world, is the most emotional ending, in my opinion, and the best ending in the entire game. The rest of the endings fucking suck. I'm sorry. Like, David Cage, I think, if he wrote this, and I heard he's very strict when it comes to that, certain aspects of the game, like certain aspects of George, like there's nothing fucking made sense, and just I didn't like it. Like, some of this just went batshit fucking insane. But back to the ending. Especially the Beyond ending, in my opinion, is a bit condescending. Now, in my initial playthrough, I did say I enjoyed the ending, and I'm not gonna lie, I kinda still do. But it's still a bit of a preachy ending about death and the future and how religion might not be right and how, like, we're all the same being, and it's kind of preachy shit, and I don't like that kind of ending. And it's also it's also a sequel bait ending. Like, the entire game feels like that, but especially the ending is a sequel bait and a fucking half, and I shit ye not. No matter what ending you will pick, you will get this sequel bait, in which basically just shows Jodie and another girl who turns out to be the child that she helped bring into this world via the homeless segment, and apparently she has the same abilities as Jodie. You see a giant fucking black hole motherfucking thing at the end of the road destroying the world, and she's just going, "Now shit gets real." Ending! I hate that. I fucking hate endings like that. I'm sorry, and I do apologize. I have to swear for that because I have to emphasize how fucking shit that is. That that combined with the other aspects of the game's story, especially the story about, don't even get me started on the fucking gameplay, because the gameplay was barely fucking there. You could not, if you could die in this game, I'd be very fucking surprised. And I'm sure you can die, but I never died once. And that's how it felt easy as shit. I'm telling you that right now. And yeah, that's my main reason why this is my most disappointing game. Just I was excited for this, but in the end, it just did not live up to what it was promising. If not for the performances by Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe, this here would be one of the worst games I'd ever played in my fucking life. But due to the performances by Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe, they barely managed to salvage this. But even then, I still would not recommend anyone playing this, because this game was a struggle to play through. I am not lying. I had to... If I was not doing the Let's Play as I stated, I would not have finished it. And I just don't think that's not a good sign of a game, in my opinion, is that if I have to struggle to play through your game, and I feel like not playing the fucking game, I was very tempted to cancel the Let's Play of this game due to the fact that I felt no compulsion to continue the story. And even though there were some great emotional moments in the game, I just didn't feel like I could continue it. And I just did not get it. I'm sorry. And I'll definitely say this right now. This is a game that's... I'll say this right now. Go watch it on YouTube. Go watch a fucking Let's Play. Go watch whoever's. Watch mine. Watch Jesse Cox's. Watch whatever other dozen of fucking Let's Plays are out there. Because you'll get more enjoyment out of watching it than you will fucking playing it. This game is not worth playing, in my opinion. It's an enjoying... Yeah, watching it's one thing and you'll enjoy it by watching it. But when you're playing it, it's fucking horrendous and I don't like that. I kind of went on longer than I had planned with that, but I had to emphasise this, and I do apologise if I repeated myself quite a few times, because I know I probably did, but I just wanted to emphasise that is why why Beyond Two Souls is my most disappointed game of the year, because it just did not live up to what it was promising, and I just think that it needed a couple more drafts in the script to get a lot of the stuff that really didn't belong there, and you could have taken out half of the story in this aspect, and it would still have made it pretty much better, in my opinion. Now, that is my most disappointing game of the year, and I just really want to emphasise that is my personal opinion. If you really enjoyed Beyond Two Souls, that's your opinion, but my opinion, it just didn't live up to the hype, and it was a struggle to play it. I am not fucking lying. I am not, and I felt no compulsion to complete. I feel no compulsion to replay this game. Unlike Heavy Rain, which I'm not going to lie, I replayed Heavy Rain off screen. I replayed Heavy Rain with different segments, because I fucking love that game for that. Beyond Two Souls, could give two shits if we gone back to it. I haven't fucking touched it since I fucking played it. And I'm not lying. However, I will say one thing. Really like the music, but it's Hans Zimmerman. How can you not love that music? I think I'm going to wrap it up there before I end up going for another 8 minutes and making this 20 minutes long. But that is my most disappointing game of the year, and I just think that emphasises it as just what my personal opinion is. So... yeah, go watch Beyond Two Souls. Don't bother fucking buying it and playing it because it's a worthless piece of shit. I'm going to get the hate mail for that. Bring it on, bitches. Now, let's move on to the next category. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next category.